Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing this morning? I'm doing just fine. I've been up and about already. Believe it or not, I had to get up and go to my pharmacy and get my bills straightened out at the pharmacy again and pick up some medication that they did not. They may have delivered it, but the thing is, I was probably asleep because sometimes they come here and I miss them. And so anyway, I got my prescription filled. I'm all set in that department. And you know what? The weather felt good. It felt good out there this morning. Because I went early. I went, now it must have been about 9:30 because it wasn't even hot or nothing out. But they say the weather, the UV ray today or whatever that means is going to be kind of bad. But the way I felt like I just felt like I could just keep going because the weather was so nice. Yeah. But anyway, I just came on back home because I got a lot of work to do at home. And the inspector came today. I'm not today, yesterday. And I said, I'm not expecting an inspector because I already had an inspector. But I realized, yes, I do need the inspector. I did have an inspector. It was time for an inspection. But it wasn't the same inspection. It was a Section 8 or something like that inspection. And I wouldn't let him in my house. I said, I'm not expecting anyone, because I was in bed anyway, y'all. I was in bed and I was, just getting ready to go back to sleep because I had been up all night. And so then I got up and I went to the door. And he showed me his badge. I said, I wanted to see paper. He had no paper. The only thing he showed me his badge. And then he opened up his shirt. He showed me he had a badge on his shirt, that he was legit. Hey, I'm so sorry, but I'm not expecting anyone. He said, well, would you like me to have them send you another appointment? I said, yes, I would. I felt kind of bad afterwards, though. But, I wasn't expecting anyone. I'm tired. I wanted my rest. I didn't want to hear Jack, okay? And so, but anyway, he was a nice enough guy. And I don't think I was nasty to him. I just refused to let him in my house. That's, my apartment. That's all I did, because like I said, I wasn't expecting him. But then I did have that piece of paper, but I thought that was the inspector. But anyway, I don't know what it was, but they're gonna send me another appointment. But anyway, I got up, and then after that, I couldn't go to sleep. I could not go to sleep for nothing, so I ended up staying up all day. Yeah, I stayed up all day. And I slept a little bit better last night, but I still woke up, because I still have to go to the bathroom, taking those freaking water pills. They make you go to the bathroom. I don't know why they decide to work at 3 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock. And then it seems like to me you still have to keep going, And then I lost water weight. I know I did. That's all I lost. I haven't actually lost any weight but the water weight. When you losing weight, that's the first thing you lose is your water weight. And so you're using the bathroom, you have to urinate more frequently. And it just so happens that it happens with me in the morning hours. And then I have the problem of getting back to sleep for real, y'all. But anyway, I felt pretty good this morning when I got up, and so I went ahead and handled my business. And then I said, now, is there anything else I'm supposed to be doing? Because I got my appointments and everything. I haven't had an appointment in a long time, as you know, except my foot doctor's appointment. And I got my rebate, that's July 15th. I got dermatology. What the heck is this one? I can't read this one. Oh, that's optometry. Yeah, my ophthalmologist says I have to see the optometrist before I see the ophthalmologist. Because what had happened was when the ophthalmologist had given me that prescription, and then I went to a different optometrist, which is, not in their office, not affiliated any kind of way with them. Yale, that is. And I didn't realize they had their own optometrist. And they got one in the same building. And so my ophthalmologist said, you got to go see the optometrist before you see me. I said, okay. Tell me something, because I do not know, y'all. I don't know what time it is. I tell you nothing but the truth. It's too much for me. I think my brain might have shrunk or something like that there. You know what I mean? Or either it might have got bigger. I don't know what the situation is. But I know one thing. I can't keep up with all this crap. So that's why I write it down. I write the stuff down so I can remember. And then I got the old girl over there, who helps me remember stuff too. And so I got to see my optometrist. What's the difference in an optician and an optometrist and an ophthalmologist, y'all? Is an ophthalmologist, I think that's the one that, what is the one that do the cardiac surgery? I think that's the cataract, cardiac, from a cardiac, oh Lord, leave the heart alone, please. I think the ophthalmologist might be the same one that do the cataract surgery. I'm not sure. No, I don't think an ophthalmologist do the operation. I don't know, y'all. I'm not sure. But I know it's a different doctor, so I gotta go to see him after I see the optometrist. And who else? There's another one I can't read. Like, I should have written it with the magic marker. This is my pulmonary doctor. I gotta go see them in October. That's a long way off, It's like I got the whole summer off. Yeah. So that's a good thing, y'all. It's a good thing. But one time, I was going and going and going. Oh, there's another person I'm supposed to be calling. That's about my ride. Because my age, I shouldn't be paying for no ride to go to no doctor. I'm supposed to have medical transportation. And I've been paying $5 for everything. If I want to go shopping, matter of fact, I should get up and go shopping now. I was watching, what's that girl name? Tatiana. Tiana. I can only be me. And she went to Walmart. She made me want to go to Walmart and go shopping. I said, why am I wanting to go to Walmart to go shopping just because I was watching her? But that's what I wanted to go, because Walmart had all these sets, like nightgown sets. Like, I don't know if you call it a negligee, because a negligee is more, what do you call it, lace-like, seductive. Come on, honey, let's do this, okay? And wasn't that kind. It was the one, she had some with the, what do you call it, those little skinny scraps, which one I'm talking about. She got those, and they had a little lace, and they had all different colors and stuff like that. And then I got to think to myself, and then they had the little short sets, which a lot of people a lot of ladies up there on the YouTube, they be wearing them little two-piece sets. Some got the shorts and some got the long, leg pants that goes with them. But I said, I ain't gonna sleep in that anyway. And I got gowns already. I'm a top person. Sometimes that's a t-shirt. Sleep in the t-shirt. Why not? And I'm good to go for the night. And that means winter, summer, and spring, 4 seasons. How many seasons you got in a year? That's the way I do it. But last night, I got so hot, I kept having my shirt up. Had my little ringer going, I don't know why it was so hot last night. And then, once I got settled down, I think I got hot because I got sleepy. Because, if you ever notice how a baby gets a little irritable before they go to sleep, they're fighting sleep, I guess. Or either sometimes they'll start crying and they get a little irritable. And That's the way I get. I mean, I'm restless, like moving. And my sister had told me before, says the best thing when you get like that, you can't sleep, you know you're sleepy, just lay still. Just lie still. If you lie still and try to clear your mind, just think blank. Every time you find your mind going wandering somewhere, thinking about this, thinking about that, and the third, just think blank. And that's one of my problems. They call it travel. What do they call it? Your mind travels. In other words, you can't shut it off. That's why you can't sleep. You can't shut that mind off. If you could stop thinking, sleep will come, believe me. But before that happens with me, I'll sort of get restless. It seems like I can't get my legs straight. I gotta spread out. I gotta do a lot. I got a lot going on before I go to sleep, y'all. And then finally, I just say, well, just relax. Don't think about nothing. And I don't be thinking about nothing worth anything, because, hey, I could care less about the house. That's my only concern. Housework. And, of course, I'm concerned about my children and how they are doing, my grandchildren and things like that. But ain't nothing major, like no, everybody's doing okay as far as I know. If they ain't telling me. And so I'm carefree. I don't have anyone. My empty nest is empty. I have food in my refrigerator. I have a shelter over my head. I have decent clothes to wear. If I really want to put them on, I can put them on. What am I thinking? What am I thinking about before I go to sleep? And one thing the doctor told me, she said, you need to turn that TV off. I was, oh, shit. I almost cussed, y'all. I almost said, what I mean. But I said, I can't do that. I'm too used to it. And so she says, because it's something about the UV ray, it's something about the blue light or something on your TV that is telling your mind, you ain't supposed to be sleeping right now. Or something like that, So what you need to do is like, I don't know, put some blinders on your eyes. You could still listen. She told me, even when I went to the sleep study, she said you could still listen to the radio if you want to, but no TV. I think she said no TV. I can take my, my cell phone and listen to that or whatever, which I did not go. And then I woke up this morning and I said, oh my goodness, I wish I had went now because it would have been over by now. I would have been out of there at 6 o'clock this morning. The thing was, I was to go there at 8:30, and then I escaped out of there. They let me out. I'm free to go at 6 a.m. Yeah, that's the way it was. It was only, what, how many hours? 10 hours? I'll say 10 and a half hours because I had to be there at 8:30. It would have been over, y'all. There's always something going on over here. Let me see what's happening. Since school been out, it seems like, I don't know them young kids. Maybe I didn't hear them. Let's see. I'm going to sneak out here on the porch. I knew he'd be out here cleaning this porch off. Oh, well, that was down the street. That wasn't over here. Whew. It feels bright, but it feels good out here. I don't care what nobody say, y'all. Y'all see that dumpster sitting there? Now, when I came back from my pharmacy, I couldn't come back that way. I went that way. I went to the right. But then when I came back around, a block. I came back around the block. And that dumpster is sitting there and my big scooter. But I could have probably maneuvered my way around it. But instead, I went all the way back up to the corner, to the stop sign. I got to get this chair out of here. That's another thing I'm supposed to be doing, y'all. I knew there was something else I was supposed to be calling. See if they could come and get this chair out of here. This chair, y'all. I'm going to miss this chair, though. See, look how bad it looks. Look at that. To me, that looks horrible. But the structure of the chair, The mechanical of the chair is fine, but that's irrelevant. I need space. I want to clean my house. I just want a real emptiness. See how she's coming along? See it? See right there, that little one, and there's a little one there. She says she's coming back, y'all. And she got me to thank for it. She got me for destroying her, and I'm the one that bringing her back. And of course, Pinky needs to be staked. I need a strong man out there to stake Pinky, because Pinky is leaning. He's leaning too much. And another thing I want to get rid of is that grill. I ain't cooking now. I just ain't gonna do it. From now on, my life is my life. It's my life, y'all. And I can live it like I wanna. If I don't wanna cook, I don't have to cook. I don't have nobody talking about, Ma, I need this and Ma, I need that. Hey, get it yourself. Go to work. Get a job. No, I ain't all like that. You know, if my children need something, if they need me to help them out a little bit, I will do that if I'm able to do it. But don't be depending on me, okay? Because I already put my work in. And my baby is 37 years old, just turned 37. Wait a minute. Is he 37? He born 1988, so 8 from 15 leaves how much? 7. He's 37. He turned 37 on July 8th. Yeah. And I forgot to wish him a happy birthday. I wished him a happy birthday yesterday. And so I told him to come over, I had something for him. And so I gave him a couple coins, you know. But that's because I probably was guilty. Let me stop, y'all. I think my gigabox is turning over, but I feel good. Be happy for me. Be happy that all around Grandma's feeling pretty good this morning. She ain't drunk. I've seen a lot of times, you know, way back in the day, I'd be drunk. I don't care what time it is. 11:30 in the morning, I'll be drunk. Or on my way, okay? I think I'm going to cut my watermelon today. And my sister was telling me, I don't know if I told you, but she was telling me, even though I don't have a lot of space in the, you know, my refrigerator part of my refrigerator, to cut the watermelon up, you know, like dice it, I guess, and put it in a bowl with a cover and put it in there and it'll stay, you know, for a while. But if I had been thinking, I could have given my son half of that watermelon. And he could have given it, you know, to the children. He got little children. But I wasn't thinking, y'all. So, but I want some watermelon. I don't want the watermelon to rot on me. But I just got it like that was last Sunday we went shopping. So it hasn't been quite a week that I've actually had it in the house. And I've turned it over, you know, to look to see if anything suspicious was going on in there. And it looks about the same as it did. I already washed it off and, you know, wiped it off and everything. So she's ready. She's ready for me to cut it. But first I gotta have lunch. I'm not gonna eat my other chicken pot pie. Let me stop jibber-jabbering, y'all. I'm just flapping my lips. And I really ain't talking about nothing. But it's glad to see you, and I'm glad you came by. And I suppose I've been going live. My bad, y'all. I keep forgetting about that live thing. And plus that I don't like the way it looks on my computer. You know, you see how blurry it looks? I can go live on my phone. I've never been live on my phone except, you know, FaceTime. I went FaceTime, you know, like with my sister and my daughter, you know, went FaceTime and all that. But I think the only thing you have to do is push that plus sign or something like that at the bottom. I'll figure it out, y'all. One of these days, When my heart is strong enough, I'm gonna pack my clothes and walk out of the door. And on the day when I up and leave you, you can bet your life I won't be back no more. And now, what are you supposed to do? Well, excuse me, I know I sound terrible, y'all, but at least I was doing the best I could do. I don't see y'all singing. Sing your song, no matter how, how it makes you feel better. Trust me, Lord. Trust me, y'all. You feel better if you sing a little bit, dance a little bit. I'm still doing my boots on the ground, even though I'm not doing it up here, but I still do it. I do it when I'm, dance, sing, even if you're dancing by yourself. Just dance and sing, clap your hand and thank you, Lord. All by yourself. Because guess what? Nobody else may not see you. Nobody else may not hear you. Who hears you? Who hears you now? Come on now, y'all know the answer to that. When nobody else hears you. When you crying out in the middle of the night. Help me, Jesus. Who hears you? Okay then. Dance. You got joy. That's one of the fruits of the Spirit. A little bit of joy. A little praise the Lord. Anyway, y'all, I'm getting ready to get off the video. And I'm going to cut my watermelon after I have lunch, which I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. I'm not having chicken pot pie. It's in there. I got the other one in the freezer. But I do have some sausage. I got some Jimmy Dean sage sausage in there. I can make me a sausage sandwich. Now say it ain't so. And on that note, I go with love. Now I can sing that one. And I'll see you again soon.